Whoops.
It's time.
102.3 WHCL in Whitehall, Wisconsin. I forgot to stop things. There you go. Anyway, it is, as you just guessed, it's time now for Open House, brought to you every Wednesday by Hansen Real Estate Group.
It's time for the open house on WHTL.
What are you, some kind of real estate agent?
You're joking, right? I don't joke about real estate.
With the Hansen Real Estate Group.
I never understood why people are so afraid to eat at an open house.
I know.
The open house starts right now.
And it's Wednesday, so we do have open house with our friends from Hansen Real Estate Group. This morning being joined by Jacob Lallemont. Good morning. How are you?
I'm doing well, Mark. How about yourself?
Not too shabby. And, you and I were talking a little bit. Boy, it cooled off fast, didn't it?
Yes, it did.
I don't know. It's that time of the year.
That it is, yep.
We're going to be looking at the dreaded S word here eventually.
That's right.
Sometimes it happens by even Halloween.
Yeah, depending on the year, that's for sure.
But it's gearing up for hunting season. Are you ready?
Yes, sir, I am. Can't wait.
I know you look forward to it every year.
Mm-hmm. Yep, always.
Today you want to talk about hunting property.
That's
right.
right.
In high demand right now?
Always, Mark. Especially we're very blessed in this area to have some of the top hunting around. It's, something that's always in high demand in the Buffalo-Trempealeau County area.
What are the factors that go into good hunting land? I'm sure a lot of people wonder about that. If they're looking maybe to invest in a place where they can hunt, or maybe they want to buy something that's hunting related. How do you tell a good place from a bad place?
Yeah, so there's quite a few factors, Mark. One is definitely access, multiple access points, especially top access to a property, to be able to hunt different wind directions. Different wind directions. That's a huge part of it. Another one is management of the area. How are you and the neighbors and everybody around there? Are they waiting for those mature bucks? That type of stuff is definitely a huge part of it. Food and water availability, obviously, just like anything, deer need to eat and drink as well. And then, of course, bedding areas where they can rest. So several factors that go into the top-level properties. I
never realized there was that much that went into it. I didn't think, I never considered half of that.
Yeah, it's definitely a lot of factors. I mean, and that's kind of the things we look for on those top-level properties when a buyer's looking to find one, so...
All right, so now if you have some property, how can you improve it?
Yeah, so helping create some of those things that we just talked about, Mark, whether you have the full line of equipment with tractors and skid steers, or you just have hand tools, there's things you can do to improve your property, Adding food plots is a big one. We had mentioned food availability, being able to, keep those deer on your property by feeding them all year long, setting up food plots, obviously, for the earlier months of the year all the way through winter can really help improve your property. Creating some bedding areas with, you can hinge cut some trees, create some grassier areas, adding ponds, that's something you can do with, even if you don't have equipment. It's obviously easier if you do, but you certainly a shovel and, you can dig out a line pond there. And, really a chainsaw, shovel, and rake can get you a long ways into improving your property. So.
Well, what are some good food options if you're looking, you said create, feeding areas for them. What are some good options? Yeah,
so kind of a little bit of everything. One of the big ones that, everyone kind of talks about is find what's not out there. Obviously we live in a pretty high agricultural area, so it's common to find, corn and beans, alfalfa, that kind of stuff. So some of that stuff, maybe radishes or beets, some of that later season stuff, or ryegrass is always a good option. Clover's a great option, some of that stuff that grows quicker like that. And yeah, you can get into the radishes, beets, stuff like that, turnips that maybe are for that later season. And like I said, kind of supplement what the farms around you have and feed them all year long.
So really, like you said, it's creating the right habitat because you want to attract them and keep them on that property.
Right, exactly. And there's a lot of ways to do that. Another great solution is talk with a local forester. Let them know what you're trying to do. I mean, you don't want to clear cut the place necessarily, but if you can create some areas that open up that canopy, create some woody browse, some bedding areas for the deer, they love that fresh browse coming up there. And creating something like that by doing some logging can be another great avenue to create some deer habitat on your property.
For people out there listening and they're going, yeah, that all sounds good, but I don't know where to start. What should they do?
Yeah, so definitely a lot of options. I mean, for one, you got to get a property, which is where we're here to help with, So that's something that we can help with. We're certainly passionate hunters as well. At HRE Group there, our whole team is pretty big into it. We have great working relationships with, different property management specialists that can help develop plans for you. So there's a lot of options, and we're here to help with all of it.
And, it comes down to whether you want to do it in a conventional way or an auction way, and I think that's why you need the pros to help you work that through.
Yeah, and that's something we offer compared to a lot of the, quote-unquote land guys is the auction method. It's definitely been a great way to sell properties and just adds more exposure and potentially more buyers for someone looking to sell one of those types of properties. Our platform reaches a national level, and you're dealing with people who grew up right in the neighborhoods they're working in. So we have the local contacts and the national contacts, which really can get the exposure for your property.
Do you find that people in other parts of the state or other states look at this area and go, gee, I'd like to buy some hunting area, some hunting land that, I can develop and maybe lease out? Do you find that people do that?
A ton. Yep. Definitely in this area, Buffalo, Trempealeau County area, there is a ton of people from out of state that buy property, and either as an investment, maybe they want to hunt it themselves, or whatever the case may be, there's certainly a lot of out of state investment in properties around here.
That's good to know. You've got some properties you want to talk about today.
Yeah, definitely.
How's the market, by the way?
Market's really picked up. There was that recent little interest rate cut there, that quarter point, that's kind of put everyone back in gear, and properties are starting to move. So if there's been one that's hanging out there that you like, now's the time to look before it goes. So.
All right. Well, let's talk about what you've got to highlight today.
Yeah, so first one here, Mark, is in Arcadia. You got to move in, 3-bed, 2-bath home. It's close to schools, the Sewanwick Center, Memorial Park. Kitchen's been recently renovated, and it's got, nice garage space there. That one's down right now to $199,000. So, being able to get into Arcadia starter home for under $200,000 is a pretty good deal, and certainly won't last long.
No, that's a really good buy right there. As you said, it's very convenient. It's right near everything in Arcadia, so that's pretty cool.
Yeah, and then the next one we have here on Wayne Street in Independence, another one that's got some just beautiful renovations done to it. 4-bed, 2.5 baths, sitting on a large double lot. The garage to me is one of the neatest parts of it. Real nice sized garage there. You almost feel like you're living in the country there, even though you're right next to downtown Independence.
When you've got a lot and a half, and that's a big house. 4 bedrooms, 2.5 bath, that's a big house.
It really is, yeah. And like I said, very tastefully remodeled. Kind of kept some of that original woodwork refinished and added some modern updates to it. I mean, super, super neat house down at $199,999 right now. So.
And then you've got a piece of property you want to talk about.
Yeah, and this one's brand new, Mark. It actually just went up on the MLS today, heading to auction. People would know it as the gas station in Gilmington. It's a commercial lot, 0.77 of an acre there. Real neat opportunity. I mean, big lot, state highway, so you don't have to worry about road bans. I mean, it could fit a variety of businesses, whether you're, looking to rent out hunting cabins or have some sort of grain facility or auto lot. I mean, there is a ton of opportunities there. Like I said, just went up, heading to auction, closing November 13th here, so definitely something to check out.
What's on the property now?
So right now, just a couple gas pumps and kind of the shack to run everything there. So, you certainly could go that route, but definitely has a lot of opportunity as a vacant commercial lot.
Boy, for that, and this is an auction property, is that correct?
That's correct.
Okay, so you can check that out on the website. If people are interested in listing a property or maybe buying a property, what's the best thing to do, Jacob?
Yeah, call or text me anytime at 608-863-3928. I'm happy to help.
Make sure you check out their website, too, hregroup.com. They've always got the deals right up there, and bidding on the auction items is simple, too. Just create an account, and you're right there.
You bet. We try and make it simple.
All right, Jacob, good to see you.
Good to see you as well, Mark.
Have a great day. Enjoy that football trip this weekend.
Thank you.
Going to go up and watch Arcadia, aren't you?
Yes, sir. Yep, part of the coaching staff, so going to help out there.
There you go. That's open house here with Jacob Lallemont today from HRE Group. Check them out at hregroup.com.
At Channel, we always show up for our farmers.
Is that tar spot or rust?
Incoming!
Definitely rust.
Rick, how did you?
Dropping into